Hello and welcome to the Runnin the Paint Podcast. How are all you guys doing today?
I'm good. Got my Sprite cran.
Oh yeah,
The opening night was great.
Big surprise. Big surprise.
Big surprise, yeah. Back for episode 2. We're recording this on Thursday, October 26th. So the previous 2 nights we had the NBA regular season returning. 28 out of the 30 teams all making their first appearance on the season. So what we're going to do in this episode is we are going to talk about every single team at least once. At least that's the attempt.
Jackson.
What did Jackson do?
Typing during the pod? What is that?
Sir.
That is a no-go.
I'm sorry I had to set up the Google Meet for everybody because someone was running late.
Okay.
Stay in your lane, son. Stay in your lane, son.
So, anyways, for the pod, what we are going to do is every single week we are going to each have our own awards for the team. So this is not going to be like projecting what player is going to win each award. This is just like awards for the first week of the season, in this case for the first game of the season for these teams. So, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with awards here?
MVP.
Yeah, that's a good place.
MVP of the week, yeah.
MVP of the week. Someone throw out a name.
Nikola Jokic.
Fantasy stud.
That's definitely a good name.
He was unbelievable.
That's the name to throw out. It's either him, Luka, or Cade Cunningham. Sorry.
Ooh.
Cade had a really good week. Or really good
He dropped 30.
He did. He did, but let's get into the Lakers-Nuggets game. I guess it's only right we start with the first game of the season. So, what are some takeaways?
First shot of the year?
Oh, yeah, what LeBron's first shot of the year?
I was worried about him, actually, like, in the beginning of the game. Like, he didn't look... I would say Father Time was in the building on that
well,
night. You could tell he looked like he was 40. He was youthful. He was youthful at 40, but, like, he got his foot stepped on, I know. He got his foot stepped on. But he did come out, like, as soon as I was trying to type that to somebody, like, uh-oh, I'm kind of worried about LeBron. He went out and had a fast break dunk and had, like, he went coast to coast, like, 3 times in the first quarter. And he looked just as good as ever, so.
Yeah, I would also say that no one on the Lakers started out good at all in that game, besides, like, Anthony Davis.
And then there's...
who ended up not scoring in the second half.
And then he vanished. Bro forgot he was playing basketball in the season.
But yeah, man.
I watched most of the game, and I couldn't even tell that he didn't score. Like, I mean, it wasn't like they were missing it. I mean, the Lakers were in the game the whole time, and he didn't score in the second half against the defending champs. That's not. You could look. It could have been a lot worse, I guess.
And one thing I noticed, they were really being pesty towards Jamal Murray, because they were like, we'd rather let Jokic beat us. We're not gonna let this dude beat us again, like he did last.
Well, Jokic did beat.
Well, did you see Gabe Vincent have 3 fouls in 30 seconds against?
Yeah, on like
Jamal?
he had them all on like the same play. I'm like, dude, relax.
Gabe did not look good. I mean, he was 0 for 4.
No, like so.
For anyone watching, this is podcasting on a budget. If you haven't realized, but we're
no,
getting better together.
To that point, like they were being really physical towards Jamal Murray, and Jokic was just able to get whatever he wanted in the paint, specifically in the first quarter. Like he was able to just get any floater, hook shot he wanted, passes outside, offensive rebounds. Like he really dominated that first quarter.
I will say, when Jokic looked at his worst, it wasn't when Anthony Davis was on the floor. Like, it was weird. Like,
AD was, I know his plus-minus was not good, and they were dogging him at the half. Kendrick was the only dude sticking up for him on TNT. Even, he brought in...
That's not the guy you want sticking up for you.
I was about to say Perkins.
Yeah.
He was talking about Nene when he had a guard Nene in Denver. You guys remember?
Dude, I love Nene.
Yeah.
Nene's awesome.
I don't know if that's what he was doing, but that's what he was throwing out. He's like,
Wait,
Oh,
wait
man.
a minute.
It was a
What am
battle.
I
remember
hearing?
that.
Who was compared to Nene?
I don't think Kendrick was just comparing the way he had to play defense on Nene to the way AD is having to play defense on Jokic.
Ugh. Dude, I don't know I don't know about that one.
I don't know if he was comparing it, but he was just like
Yeah.
trying to pull from his experience, I guess.
I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. Perkins doesn't. How does
He
that
was
make
the only
sense?
yeah.
He never knows what he's talking about.
No, but like
No,
all
he's
things
just saying,
considered,
Like, how does he still have a job?
Don't go
agreed.
for that man's job right now.
But all things considered, like I thought that the Lakers had a pretty bad game all the way around, and they were still hanging around like the entire game. Like they had it down to a 3-point game in the fourth quarter, but then the Nuggets just went on their surge to end the game.
That's why I still have them like pretty high on like the Western rankings when we did it last episode. Like, this is like how good this team. When you have AD and LeBron, like it's the first game of the season. Like they're gonna get this together. They're gonna figure it out eventually, and they're gonna be very dangerous to everyone.
Well, how about LeBron only playing 29 minutes?
Well, he did say he's gonna be like 28 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, for the first like 25.
I think that's probably a good idea for
I like that
I mean-
because likewise for Denver, you know, we've all talked about how Denver doesn't really have a bench, and that's like their big question. So Mike Malone was just like, all right, we don't have the best bench. All the starters are playing 35 minutes, which is just not going to last which is just not going to hold up for the rest of the regular season.
What are they, the Raptors right now?
That is a Raptors, that is a very
The only
Raptors
time-
thing to do.
LA was really. I felt like then they were coming back was like Torian Prince was the one that was holding. He was the only guy that was keeping them on.
Dude, I thought he was their best player.
He had some good shots. Yeah, he had some good shots. Yeah.
In the game?
I think,
Newcomer of the week.
Hey, newcomer of the week, Torian Prince.
Shall we just transition
Brown,
right into that? Because that's
Brown?
my pick right there.
Oh, that is a good pick
Newcomer
for
of the week.
Oh,
that is a good pick for newcomer of the week. But anyone else have
Definitely
any
other guys.
anyone else have any thoughts on this game before we move on? Because I actually in actually that second game, I have Devin Booker in my top 3 for MVP of the week. In that win against Golden State, because he was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's also out tonight.
He is out tonight.
I was talking to you in that game. We were like, dude, how is this dude making every single shot he takes?
He was making everything. It was great to watch. He's one of my favorite guys to watch. He
looks
did.
Like Kobe.
Yeah, 13 of 21 is a quiet night for 32 points and only 3 free throws. Like, that's efficient.
Only
there.
wow, only 3.
He only got to the line twice. One of them was an and one, it looks like,
Harden
or 3
could
and
never.
ones.
Dude, Harden's not. They don't want him.
But I'm saying that, Miles, that's a good pick for MVP because he played 37 minutes. Him and KD talking about usage when they were both at 37 in their first game against the Warriors.
Kevin Durant's so bad, dude. He did not play well.
Dude, the fact that the Suns
Kevin
won
Durant's
this
so
game.
bad. You want to rethink that?
I'm just saying he looked bad in that game. I'm not saying he is bad. He just didn't look like his usual self.
Dude, talk about overreactions. Like, it's only one game, but Kevin Durant's the worst shooter in the NBA.
No, that belongs to a different player. We'll talk about that later.
Your
Okay.
LVP of the week.
LVP of the week.
Dude, no, this was Kevin Durant and Eric Gordon combined from the field for a 11 for 38.
Hey, Eric Gordon hit that clutch 3 down the
Not
stretch.
That's
He
true,
had a
but
big 3 down the
11 for
stretch.
38.
This was super. I thought that it was super impressive. Because I did not have the Suns winning this game at all.
Yeah. I can't
But-
believe the Warriors.
They got the
Patrick
road victory.
Allen in there, 11 for 44.
But yeah, they got the road victory in Golden State with Kevin Durant having a bad shooting game, and it was like Devin Booker, of course, the big star, of course, but I was really impressed by Josh Okogie and Yusuf Nurkic in that game
Thank
as
you.
well. I thought Nurkic was great.
Okogie's a dog.
I thought Nurkic was great.
Nurkic, Miles.
Yeah, you love Nurkic.
But again, let's temper expectations. Game 1, he's playing against the centerless Warriors, if you want to call Kevon Looney a center. I mean, Nurk can look.
That's
I mean, he is a center.
Whoa.
Kevon Looney is great, but he's not.
Nurkic.
I'd rather have
could see
Nikola
Nurkic
Vucevic on the Bulls as my center than Kevon Looney.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'm saying he's mid, and
For
Nurkic can look good
defensive
against a
purposes, I'd
mid
rather
center. So
I'd rather have Kevon
Nurkic
Looney
had a great game.
defensively than Vucevic. Vucevic is terrible defensively.
Hey,
He was in, like,
Kevon Looney,
Portland and Denver back in the day.
Kevon Looney
New Color
starting
Week, Nurkic?
starting center on a championship team. Don't disrespect Kevon. Looney
No, I
Tunes.
respect Kevon for sure. Yeah, you're right. No.
No, he's definitely a pursuit. I know what you mean though, but he's a good defensive guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Andrew Bogut.
Andrew Bogut.
So Splash Bros 7-25 in this game. That's something I noticed like after the buzzer sounded. I was like, they couldn't have had a good night if they only scored 104. They put up 18 points in the fourth quarter. Golden State. You can't win a game.
They shot
Can't win a game like that.
they shot
Just running
35% from the
14 of
field.
38. Oh, you're saying 3. I got you.
Yeah, they shot that from 3.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as a team, they shot 10 for 43 from deep and 35% from the field as a whole. Now, what do you guys think? If for you guys watching the game, was that more the Warriors missing shots or the Suns defense?
It's hard for me to tell for real because I didn't watch that close if I'm being honest, and I don't know, first game jitters. You can probably I would assume I did watch Clay start his night like 0 for 7, and that's not gonna happen most of the time.
Dude, you know what's funny? I wonder if him pedaling his his boat to get to the arena before the game was why all of his shots were short in the first quarter.
Oh,
I think
my
I saw a
God. Did
cutscene
you really?
of someone doing that, but I didn't know that Clay pulled up on the
Yeah,
boat.
Clay
Did-
pulled up on the boat to the arena. That's how he gets to the arena.
We just cut to that right now, Clay.
And it was just him paddling his way.
That's
But
great.
yeah,
No. Go ahead.
Golden State I think will be fine. I mean, Chris Paul, I thought that it was okay to start him against the Suns because the Suns aren't really that big. I'm excited to see the Warriors play the Kings on Friday night. You know, playoff rematch with these two teams.
I was gonna say about the Kings. The Kings were the only team in the league on opening night, bar the Bucks and the Sixers, who haven't played yet, who shot more threes than the Warriors and the Cavs, who both shot 43. There were a couple teams, including the Grizzlies and the Pacers, who shot 43, and the Kings shot 51. That's the highest so far.
Dang.
So yeah, that's gonna be
That is wild.
I would take the over for anyone betting the Kings Warriors on
1,000%.
whenever they play. Yeah, they're gonna be chucking them.
Speaking of the Kings, do we want to just like move around to Wednesday's games and just move on through?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Go to
the
Kings game.
yeah, so the Kings went into Salt Lake City and blew out the Jazz 130 to 114 in a game where Joey, you can cover your ears, where Harrison Barnes had 27 points in the first half. Which is just unbelievable. I wasn't watching this game super closely because the Mavericks Spurs game was on, and that's what I was paying attention to. But when I saw Harrison Barnes 27 points at halftime, like, what is going on?
It's like, bro. And then I looked down at Joey's bench. He's right there. I'm like, ain't no way, dude.
I had a conversation with Joey yesterday morning before, like 12 hours before the game, about who you should sit, and for some reason I thought Sabonis wasn't playing last night, but he did end up playing. I was like, you should probably play Barnes because Sabonis ain't going, but he did end up going, and Barnes went off anyway.
The Nick Kovac specialized injury report.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm playing Jackson right now in fantasy, and I'm winning still, but I did have Harrison Barnes on my bench. He dropped
you can thank
points.
Jalen Brunson.
That's
for
insane.
That. Yeah, you can thank Jalen Brunson, please.
Yeah, you had Jalen Brunson.
Send him a basket of bread or something.
I think the Kings starting lineup was interesting with Horter. I didn't know what they were going to do between Mitchell and Monk on their bench. Even Duarte, you could argue, could be up there in the lineup instead of him. They played him 24 minutes. Monk was at 23, and then Davian and Duarte were both about 15. So
I did
definitely some roles to figure out.
Malik Monk.
Dude, that poster, first poster of the season.
And then he got punched right after.
He's just over right in his face.
I would have done the same thing. I'd be like, get out.
All right, so do we want to shift over to the first national TV game on TNT?
Wemby, baby.
No, that's not.
Oh,
what are you talking about, Kovac?
First night. Well, I thought you were gonna.
ESPN.
Same
Oh,
night.
We
you want?
already talked about the TNT game, which was the Nuggets.
Yes, we
Lakers.
did. I
No,
guess.
I'm saying,
I guess
like, the
before
first
we could keep
for
going with.
Wednesday.
So, does anyone else have any other MVP names to throw out there? We talked Jokic. We talked Booker.
I said Cade, but we can talk about Cade later. 'cause I
Joey, do you
have-
want to go? Because I kind of got two guys, so you should pick yours.
Like I said, I didn't watch, unfortunately, with my sleep schedule and all that kind of stuff. It was hard to watch a lot of the games, and it's gonna be hard to watch a lot of the games. I'll watch a lot of the highlights, but one of the games I did watch was the Cavs Nets, of course. And even though they lost, Cam Thomas really scared me. He was really good.
Bro, as soon as
Throw out
we
the
were
Could not stop
red
him.
carpet.
the Cavs, they're
Go ahead, Miles.
the Cavs, they came out great to start the game on both ends because one of the weaknesses of the Nets, is definitely their half court offense. So when I saw Jacques Vaughn go to the end of his bench and pull Cam Thomas up, I was like, oh boy, That-
Here he goes. Here he
that's
goes.
that's how they're getting back in this game. And Cam Thomas had the most points by a reserve in a season opener in NBA history, with 36 points in 25 minutes.
That's a
36
that's an
is
easy,
crazy.
maybe not MVP, but that's an easy pick for sixth man of the week.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
an easy pick for
Like, when you look at what he did last year in some of the games where he had like the 40-plus point games, and then you look at what he's like. When you give him minutes, he scores a ton of points. I don't know why they don't play him.
Instant offense right there. That's what you want off your bench.
Well, if you notice at the end of the game, he was not in because it was crunch time, and he's not a guy who finishes games for the Nets. It's
No,
gonna
I
be
didn't-
Cam.
I
Yeah,
also-
they'd rather go with
yeah, I-
Ben
I didn't
Simmons. They're not going to win a lot of games that way.
I mean, okay, we
He
can.
played fine yesterday.
I don't think Ben Simmons deserves a whole lot of time to talk about, but I will say I thought he looked good. He missed a couple shots, but he was very aggressive, and his passing and rebounding
He
was
should've
still
taken more.
good. What?
Yeah, take that, Joey.
I felt like the only thing I would harp on is he didn't take more shots. I mean,
I was gonna say he needs to be more aggressive if people want to consider him an all-star
Dude,
or like that leader of a team.
He passed up a
I mean,
wide
you got
open
other
dunk
guys.
again.
Like exactly, like he needs to be aggressive. It's more just like my hate for him just comes from all the media, national media, all talking. Oh, he's back this year. Oh, he feels great and all that kind of stuff. It's like we've heard this 3 years in a row now.
He's back.
He's
I don't care what
still
anyone says.
not as aggressive as he was like his rookie year or like even the year after. Like
Do you know
he
that-
used to be
still good
a
at 2K.
lot more aggressive.
Still good in 2K.
Do you know that he had more
2K's a
rebounds
trash
and more
game,
assists
so.
than your
Ronnie's
god,
listening.
Evan Mobley Jr.,
Good.
who didn't play very well yesterday?
What was that?
He out rebounded Evan Mobley, so your soft big man.
Yeah, Mobley and Garland.
Thoughts on Mobley after one game? How did Mobley look? I wasn't
He
watching.
had
I was
10
watching
he
the
had
other
10
game.
points, 6 rebounds.
So my
5 for
my
11. Not
10 and
terrible.
6. That's it.
Yeah.
my thoughts
He was
on
okay.
Mobley.
Not
My
really
thoughts
good.
on Mobley. I thought he had a very solid defensive game. They just didn't, and he had some solid post plays as well. But there were also times where Claxton was playing very good defense as well. So I'd say it's a typical Mobley game.
Yeah.
He looked about the same as he did last year.
Yeah. I
I
didn't.
was just, yeah.
Oh, you can go. You're good.
Yeah, I want him to be more aggressive, but again, some of that could be like us having the hot hand. Like for me, like my newcomer of the week would be Max Strus. He had such a hot hand. Like you're almost gonna want to run the offense through him instead of like a Mobley or. But obviously, when Mitchell's on the floor, you got to run it through him.
Can we give Isaac Okoro his flowers, please?
Thank you. I was just about to say.
No, we cannot.
I was just about to
went
say.
the entire second quarter, and I watched him airball 2 threes in a row, and I was done after that.
He had 18
So you
points,
didn't watch the
50%
set?
from the
Then
floor.
no, you can't. No, Okoro had a great game.
Yeah,
He
and
had
then-
a great game.
Oh, what are you gonna say next? Karis LeVert played fantastic, shooting 4 for 17.
Dude,
He was
Karis,
4-17.
Karis,
He didn't look
you
bad.
wouldn't tell though.
That's not
I couldn't tell he shot 4 for 17. But man, he has lost his mid-range shot. I'll tell you, that used to be his bread and butter.
No,
Oh.
it's one game. Come on, he's fine. I like Harris.
Fucking one game, like you weren't bashing everybody on planet Earth yesterday.
Oh,
Who
oh
was I
my!
bashing? No,
Donovan
never mind.
Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell.
I was bashing the Cavs more. I I wasn't sticking up for Donovan. Miles was sticking up for Donovan. Jackson right now is talking about a private group chat that we have that the listeners are not in. So what Miles was doing was sticking up for Donovan, and I was calling the Cavs out because there's no way when I'm watching the national game and I'm looking at the Cavs game that it should be that close of a game that late. And I don't know, the box score like as well.
Donovan Mitchell, clutch as always. That's when he needs to show up.
Dude, came up clutch in the fourth quarter. He looked great in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Looking like me out there, low key.
Yeah, but man, for the Nets, I think you gotta be happy that you were this close in the game with really only having Cam Thomas as your offense. Because like McHale finished with 20, but I didn't think he had that great of a game.
Yeah,
Watching.
Cam Johnson 5 for 10. I mean,
None of them didn't shoot it. They didn't
really
shoot
good.
enough. That's also because the Cavs' defense was
Benson
decent.
did everything except
I was
surprised.
really surprised because I did watch the end of it that their last two possessions for the Nets when they needed buckets they went against Mobley. It was like Mobley was the primary defender and he didn't let a shot off either time. Really, the one over him wasn't it Dinwiddie that tried, or was it?
No, it was Thomas.
At the
Thomas tried to fire
Oh,
away.
I didn't know it was Cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game like I said. I was
Yeah, that's the thing. Even with Mobley not being like great offensively, his defense is still stellar.
Yeah, for sure. But I'd say I had
defense.
I
Should we go to our defensive?
had Strus on my like most improved of the week kinda because maybe it's just because I like wasn't all in tune to like Heat games during the regular season, but I was not expecting him to defend as well as he did in that game. He had a clutch block down the stretch.
He's a dog.
12 rebounds
He's a
as well.
dog. I like him. Yeah.
Looking good
Right,
so
he's
far.
very
Culture,
aggressive.
baby.
He was very aggressive on defense. He was trying to poke the ball out and did it a couple times.
Yeah,
So Joey, Donovan was your MVP?
Not probably not Donovan. I don't know who my MVP is, to be honest. Probably like that's the thing. My would be like 6-man. Almost it would be Cam Thomas, but like I don't really have an MVP because again I didn't watch a whole lot of games.
All right, do you guys
unfortunately
want my one or two guys for my MVP? Should we just talk about one?
As many as you want.
Give us the first one. Yeah.
Let's hear it. We got all these games to get to.
It's gonna be KP on the Celtics. It's gonna be KP for sure. Porzingis on the Celtics. I thought. I mean, he changed. He changed that Celtic offense for sure. Like
staggering 0 assists today.
I just thought the same thing that I saw from them in the preseason. They came out and those starters all played over 30 minutes as well, and they looked dominant while they were on the court together. Kristaps was plus 13.
The most staggering thing to me is that Jaylen Brown shot for only 11 shots.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I agree with you.
Wow.
That is very interesting.
And then of course,
the Celtics definitely played that game in spurts. Like as far as like when they started the game out so hot offensively, but then there were so many times where like the Knicks would just get back in the game.
Yeah,
It was definitely a game of runs there for sure.
I'd like to point out
that comes down to their bench, at least I would argue.
Yeah, doing some math here, Randall Brunson and R.J. Barrett combined for 19 for 63.
Dude, get Barrett out of there too, because Barrett had a good game. Randall and Brunson.
Barrett did have a good game.
Dude, 11 for 43 for Randall and Brunson. That is tough.
Yeah, and they lose by 4.
Dude, because Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly played great. Quickly was my second for 6-man of the week behind Cam Thomas. Because he was fantastic, especially in the fourth quarter. But the Knicks just missed 12 free throws.
Fantastic.
And that cost them the game.
Looking like the Cavs out there. My gosh.
It did. You're exactly right.
Wow.
Because going into the game, I was thinking, like, okay, the Celtics, they have great front court players, but none of them are that great at rebounding. And the Knicks have great rebounders, as we saw in the Cleveland series last year. So if the Knicks dominate the boards, I have them winning this game. And if it's kept even, I think the Celtics will win. The Knicks ended up getting 10 more offensive rebounds than Boston, but they missed 12 free throws, and that ended up being the game.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, they did dominate the glass. The Knicks were, I mean, getting second chance opportunities every time I looked, they just Boston's front court was able to defend and do enough to funnel down into KP, and KP looked great in the lane. I mean,
Yeah.
for what I said about playing in the drop and not being able to get back to make a second effort, on that first effort, like, good luck getting around him because he's taking up a lot of space. So.
Yeah. I was talking to Miles yesterday, and he brought up a good point. Like, it's not nobody should worry about Jalen Brunson right now. I mean, he's going up against Drew Holiday, like you said yesterday, Miles, which obviously
Yeah.
is a tough matchup for anybody. So, like, I'm not worried. What are you laughing about?
You should definitely worry about Jalen Brunson.
I'm not worried at all. I don't know.
He's on your fantasy team. He
Not at
stinks.
all.
It's hard to come out and
You should
have a
cut
good
him.
game.
You are so biased against
Nick drop Bol. You can drop Brunson to pick up Bol. I think that's a great move.
Okay,
It's hard to come out and have a good game.
we should leave the fantasy talk for outside of the podcast.
Yeah, Joey, you mentioned
So
every
people
call
know
right
what we're
now.
talking about. Something that I noticed for my defensive players of the week, I put Porzingis and Holiday together. Just because when I was going across defensive stats, this is unbelievable. When on like shots that Porzingis and Holiday defended, the Knicks went 10 for 42 from the field.
Was it Randall and Brunson taking all those shots?
Dude, very well could be, but that just shows like, look, when guys went up against when guys went up against Porzingis, they shot 6 for 25 from the field, which is very impressive.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Good luck.
Really good.
That's elite.
Miles,
Yeah.
where'd you find those stats for the viewers so they can do some research on their own if they would?
I just found them on stats.nba.com. You can do a lot of digging around in there if you switch different filters to find stuff.
With the nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There you go, listeners.
So should we?
Yes, you know what?
Our defensive. Or should we do least
Okay.
valuable
DPOY. Or
player?
DPOT.
Like just from the games that I watched, I have a couple. I have two from the same game actually. I have Scotty Barnes and Rudy Gobert.
Good. I like it.
Rudy Gobert, we know Rudy Gobert is a great defender. He had 4 blocks and 2 steals yesterday, and Scotty Barnes had 5 blocks on his own with his 2 steals as well, which is crazy. They didn't put Scotty on Ant that much, which I would have preferred them to put him on, but I mean OG still played decent on Ant, I guess. But like as someone who watched a lot of those games, those were the 2 guys that kind of stuck out to me a little more. Just because I watched all the games that these guys didn't. Like, I didn't get to watch the Cavs or anything. So just looking at this, those are the 2 guys that stood out to me a lot. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a very good
I
pick
didn't
as
have
well.
a chance to really check out the T-Wolves game. I know it's a very close, low-scoring game, so that makes sense that there was some good defense going on there.
Yeah,
I mean, OG, he even had 3 blocks. Like, it was a defensive battle on both sides, and then you had Ant kind of going crazy offensively. Looking at this, Towns also had 4 blocks. So the Timberwolves had 9 blocks and 11 for the Raptors. They were just sending shots back left and right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, I didn't get to watch that game either, as Jackson said. The Timberwolves didn't have anyone that shot over 50% from the field. That is crazy.
Which, yeah, that's something I noticed. There were a lot of bricks going up. I mean, even Ant, like, he started off super hot, and then second half he kind of cooled off. I mean, Towns 2 for 10 from 3 was not that good either. He just kept chucking it, and I was like, dude, you gotta like there were a lot of contested ones. I was like, could have made one more pass, and you would have had a wide open like Mike Conley or Anthony Edwards.
If the 3 ain't working, especially for Towns, he's big enough and skilled enough. He should just try to get some easy buckets. Like
exactly.
It's tough with having Rudy Gobert in the paint as well. It's like hard to get down there.
That is true.
I don't know. Rudy was hitting the 3s in the Euros in the FIBA championships this past summer.
Yeah. Like watching again, being somebody who watched this game, the only one here who kind of was watching this. I think OG Anunoby on the offensive side looked like the best player for the Raptors. Like Pascal, I didn't really notice him that much. I mean, Scotty, I noticed him a little bit, and Dennis Schroeder, I noticed a lot too. Dennis Schroeder played really well this game as well. He hit some really clutch 3s, went 4 for 8 from there. OG Anunoby hit a bunch of good 3s. This team looked a lot better than I thought they would today, though, or yesterday, though.
I don't know.
The Raptors, you mean?
Wait, what was that?
The
Sorry,
Raptors.
you mean the Raptors, right, Goggles?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how his contract situation works out, but OG Anunoby is a good person to keep an eye out for like trade rumors and stuff when we get closer to the trade deadline.
He's been in trade rumors forever, though.
He's got a,
Yeah,
but
but
he's
that
got a player option for 19 million this next summer. He's gonna get a lot more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna get
way
traded
more
probably
than
by
that.
the deadline.
Yeah,
Especially if he keeps playing like he did yesterday.
yeah. I threw
Um,
Scotty Barnes as one of my defensive player of the week because, like I said, I didn't get to watch this game, but just looking at the stats, I saw that he had the most stocks when you combine steals and blocks. He had 7 stocks in this game, which led all players. So I thought, and such a low scoring game. So I saw like I filtered a lot of the players by like their defensive rating, and right at the top I saw like 5 Raptors. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yep. It was just a defensive like masterclass thing from both teams. Maybe
Who's coaching up there?
Darko. Oh, what's his name? He's
Darko. I don't remember his last name. But
Grizzlies. He was a Grizzlies
M,
assistant.
right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me find his
Oh.
name. I don't want to disrespect him by not having his.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Darko Milicic, and I'm like,
That's what I thought
excuse
you
me?
were talking about too.
He's a coach now?
Darko Rajakovic. Darko
All right, well, he's got them
Rajakovic.
boys playing D up there in the 6.
Yes, he does.
thing from yesterday's game, on the Timberwolves side, I'm surprised they lost this game because they absolutely killed the Raptors on the rebounds. They had 62 to 47. Anthony Edwards had 14 himself, which was interesting. He had 5 offensive boards as well, tying Rudy Gobert for the.
I saw Anthony Edwards broke history during that game as well. He became the youngest player to record 600 threes. Yeah.
Yep.
What a beast.
Yeah, he's one of the best offensive players in the league.
All right, my DPOW, defensive player of the week, is actually a defensive team of the week, and I was impressed.
We can do that.
Oh, we can do anything on this podcast, Jackson.
We're in charge.
This is magic,
Dude, I almost put the whole Raptors team because of those guys.
Don't you dare say what you're gonna say.
Mine is the Clippers because when I turned this game on, they were playing up on the Blazers. Like it's easy to come out at your home opener against the Blazers, who are supposed to be the worst team, and just go flat. But I mean, from the jump, they looked good. Paul George and Kawhi were playing up. Russ was dunking, and
Russ
it was turned up in LA.
From the highlights I saw, Russ looked explosive.
That was all coming off the defensive end, so that's why they're my pick.
Yeah, he got a ton of dunk. I saw that he tied for like the most dunks in any game of his career, and it was all off fast breaks.
Did you see the picture of when he was dunking the one time and Scoot Henderson's behind him just smiling like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm seeing this like 5 feet away from him.
I should have been paying attention to my game a bit more than what Russ was doing because
he didn't do anything until like the final 2 minutes. A lot of his buckets were garbage time minutes. That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, the score was not indicative of how dominant it really was. The Clippers had that game in the bag for like the whole game. One thing I have to. Or no, you go first. No, you go first, Jackson.
Okay, so one thing I noticed like when watching this was like they took Kawhi and PG out like super early in the fourth quarter, and they kind of just put a bunch of bums in, which allowed them to kind of come back a little bit. Because this is one I watched. Yeah, like their end of the bench guys.
Okay.
Like obviously there's no bums in the NBA. That's what I mean.
You walked right into that, but okay.
Because I mean, like, all right, shut up.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, looking at the Clippers, they shot 52 from the field, 47 from 3. Kawhi was 5 for 5 from behind the arc. He could not miss. And I think like just looking at it was a fun game to watch. Bones off the bench looked really good with 17. He was kind of balling low key.
I like Bones. Yeah.
Bones Island's a dog.
Cool name, everything.
They're playing defense.
DeAndre, the Charmin Ultra Soft Pack.
Okay, let me talk about DeAndre Ayton. Dude, How did the Blazers not give him any post-ups in this game? He took 4 shots, and 2 of them were pick and rolls, and the other 2, I don't know why they counted as shot attempts. Like, they were how do you not give him the ball after he's like the main piece you acquired in the Damian Lillard trade? Like, I know he got in foul trouble in the first quarter, but like, this is a guy. It's crazy to think, like, you know, the whole he was getting more post touches as the 4th option for the Suns than he did in this
It's one
first game.
game.
I know it's just one
Yeah.
game, but like 4
If
shots.
Scoot had a bad game, then it would probably be reasonable to assume that him and DeAndre like might mesh well together. I think those two could play really well off of each other, and so if they both played terribly, it kind of makes sense that if one isn't going, then the other one.
You still had Brogdon was great off the bench though too. That's still that's a vet point guard there. Should give him the ball.
Brogdon, Shaedon Sharpe, and Robert Williams are all 3 great off the bench.
Well, all the guys on Portland, Anthony, Shaedon, Brogdon, even they need the ball to score. So if they're dominating the ball, Scoot and DeAndre didn't really get the touches that they would normally have.
I wouldn't necessarily say Brogdon needs the ball to like he doesn't need the ball to score.
I mean, I threw him in there last just because I couldn't think.
Yeah,
like,
no, I got you. You're good.
With this Blazers team, I think it's real. Like, they're not going to be a great team, but it's really going to be a long season if they don't really run their offense through that Scoot and DeAndre duo. Because DeAndre, like, he's the main piece they got from that Dame trade. He's been to the finals before. Like, he's the one with any almost pedigree of winning. Like, that is the main guy.
Yeah, that's.
And then they just have a bunch of young guys. They need to run that offense through those two. And if it's gonna struggle like they did the other night, then it's gonna be a real long.
I do like their other guys. I like Shaedon, and I like the fact that you can bring Brogdon off the bench. Still is crazy. I mean, that means the starting 5 is at least decent.
It'll be fun.
Nick,
they have a lot of young guys, but
you can't forget about the stud Matisse Thybulle, Nick.
He had a putback dunk. I saw him, and I was like thinking about
yeah.
y'all.
You were thinking about me when he had the.
Yeah. I checked his fantasy points. Sorry, fantasy talk again. But I was like, let me make sure that they weren't pulling a fast one on me.
And we weren't.
Okay.
No, you were not.
Okay, so we're talking about Scoot. We were talking about a rookie not having a great game. Let's go to a game where we had some rookies really shining, and that was the Mavericks-Spurs game, where we thought that, thought that it would be the Victor Wembanyama show, that he would be great, but we came out of it with Derek Lively.
Derek Lively. Dude, Miles, you know I was going crazy for that man last night. He looked so good.
Dude, when he had that putback dunk in the 4th quarter, you and I went crazy.
He had the highest plus-minus on the Mavericks yesterday at +20.
And Jason Kidd didn't even bring him in until like late in the 2nd quarter, I think.
I like that he's playing, and of course Nick picked him up.
Didn't he, or was he in earlier than that? I know he didn't start, but is he gonna be starting from here on out?
He should be.
Well, he played 31 minutes off the bench.
Yeah,
he played 31 off the bench.
That's a lot. Him and Josh Green. So it's looking like, Derek Jones and Maxi Kleber, they start, but they're not like starting minute guys.
No, I wonder.
Starting minute guys are gonna be Grant Williams, Derek Lively, and Josh Green.
I wonder if they started, because they started Derek Jones over Josh Green. They had to have done that because they were trying to play to the Spurs' size. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Starting lineup is massive. I mean, your smallest guy is Devin Vassell, and he's like what, 6'5"?
Yeah.
Dude, the Spurs impressed me. The Spurs definitely impressed me.
50 wins.
They fouled a lot though.
They're 0-1.
Yeah, they're already 0-1.
Stop your yapping.
But no, gotta get shout out to
the only time.
Shout out to Zach Collins and Jeremy Sohan. Both had very good games.
I like Collins a lot.
Vassell, Jetty Osman, 5 for 10 off the bench.
Dude, Jetty was good off the bench
for
the Spurs.
Too.
Had a couple. Had some good. He was good for them off the bench.
Whichever, Trey Jones had a good game off the bench too.
Yeah, he did. He did for sure.
Miles, I listened to you talking about Jeremy Sohan on the Miles Irvin show earlier today.
Check it out, weekdays at 9 a.m.
He was very aggressive. he was super aggressive. He was like, I mean, he got to the line a lot. He was on the floor every single time I looked at the screen. Like he was just battling and hustling, and I thought he was
the primary ball handler too for that.
I hope Pop keeps it that way.
Damn, you would want to do that.
Yeah.
No, I
mean,
like that
just
too.
looked
I
at
like
what he
that
played, but
too.
also-
Yeah, I know.
Dude, because it works so
Luka
well.
Doncic, he's pretty good at basketball.
Yeah, it's the thing. All this talk we're doing about the Spurs, and the Mavericks ended up winning this game because Luka was he was great from the jump. Like, he was taking it to the rim.
Were we expecting something different? Is that what we're like?
Well, no, not at all. But like,
Luka,
people are
Luka.
like Luka is he was just incredible. Closed out that game for them as well.
When I was watching, they didn't
did.
look that crazy defensively. Obviously, we knew that, but like that's definitely going to be a huge problem for them.
Oh yeah.
Well, they gave up 40.
I'll go
They
as
gave
far
up.
as say that.
What they gave up in the first? They gave up 43 in the first quarter to the Spurs.
Yeah.
I saw the shot of Vassell fading away in front of his own bench, and Luka's literally on the ground as Vassell is like rising up. Like, did you see? You know what I'm talking about? Like, it was like a slow-mo cut scene, and Luka's sitting there like not playing any defense. And Vassell's in this incredible fall away right in front of his own bench.
Yeah.
So
But what'd you guys think about Wembanyama?
I think they're bro.
Outside of foul trouble, he looks so good.
They're cooking something in San Antonio, and it smells delicious. That's all I'm saying.
It's only one game, but he did have almost an identical stat line to Tim Duncan on his debut.
15 points, like 2 assists, 6 of 9 from the field for both of them.
That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
And you know, like when he got into foul trouble and he got back in the fourth quarter, Adam Silver like made a call to the refs. He's like, guys, don't call me. we can't have him foul out his first game. That would not look very good for us. We can't be doing this now.
The only thing about Wemby is they're gonna have to. He chucks it a lot. Like that's not gonna keep. That's not gonna continue.
They don't run a lot of play. They don't run like any plays for him, which I noticed.
They will though, I'm sure.
Like he was definitely out on the perimeter a lot, but they were definitely going to like Zach Collins to score in the post more than Wemby.
Bananas.
The last thing I'll say about that Spurs team is that their lineup with Sohan as point guard, it allows them to do a lot of different things. They can go big, or they can go small and get Trey Jones up in there if they need to. So I mean, they're versatile to say the least, especially with 7'3" French. Magnificat. He's a beast, dude.
It's ridiculous because like what I've learned from like just watching him play in preseason, this dude is a small forward that's built in a 7'4" body. Like when Pop was like, all right, we're starting Zach Collins at the 5, everyone was like, whoa, they're not starting him at the center. I see why, because he doesn't really play like a power forward center. He definitely plays like a wing in a 7'4" body there.
No, and if he would have been guarding Derek Lively would have ate that man for breakfast.
Hold on.
Because of the size difference. Because Victor's
dude, let's
not
let's not act like Derek Live. Like, he had a great game, but he was also spoon-fed a lot of the time as well by Luka.
Okay.
That's his role as well.
Good take. It's a solid
what?
take. W take.
Victor's spoon-fed by the league. Who cares?
Okay.
Adam Silver's just handing him the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
Dude, you know he made some calls after they called that fifth foul.
Okay, let's move on.
I know.
Can we go to my
Rockets game?
No, not yet. That's later. I'm not ready mentally to talk about that yet.
Hold on. No. Okay, I'm going to step in here and say that we're not saving that abomination for last. We're talking about the Rockets right now.
Let's go, Rockets.
The Rockets
terrible.
got destroyed in the second half by the Magic, and man, the Magic looked good. They were on fire. They were on fire early, then they struggled, and their defense picked it up from the, against the
I
Rockets.
owe an apology to Cole Anthony and all of his fans around the worldwide, because Cole Anthony had a great game, and I thought he was the odd man out sort of in that guard room for Orlando. But they started him, I think, and he
There's a
he
reason
looked-
he was starting
yeah.
last year too. Like he's an
Man,
absolute beast.
Can't disrespect no more. Shout out Cole.
Can we
Anthony.
talk
Sorry,
about
brother.
somebody else who had an absolutely fantastic game? Please.
Dylan Brooks was
Okay.
good.
Not
Dylan
Ahmed
Brooks was
Dylan Brooks was
good.
fantastic. Dylan Brooks wasn't just good. He was amazing, dude. He was so good. 5 for 7 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. That's right. 14 points. That's more than Evan Mobley, by the way. Just
Not
putting
more
that
than
out there.
Guess what? Guess what?
Right about it.
Dylan Brooks had the second worst plus minus in a 30-point loss.
Okay.
I had this game on because I was interested in watching Orlando, and
I don't
I was
care, man.
I'm interested in Houston as well. But I'm watching this game,
Yeah.
and I'm rooting for Amen Thompson. But
He did
I
not
see
play
him
well.
get
He
a
played
drive, kick out, and three
He
ball.
played
Not,
so bad.
I mean, it hits the backboard.
He was 1 for 7. He was 1 for 7 from 3. Okay, it's the first game. Let's not overreact, people. The Rockets are fine. We're gonna be great this season.
I mean,
You
he's gonna
know-
have to play defense. That's where
They
he's
got a
gonna
lot
thrive.
of balance on that Orlando team, especially from like that offense. Because like, just looking at the highlights and like some of the stats of that game, because like I watched the highlights of that game because I'm a big fan of the Orlando Magic this year. And Franz Wagner only had 19 points, but like if you get Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner, Paolo, that's gonna be a lot of scoring.
Dude, think about it.
Dude,
This tells
Jonathan
this
Isaac's
tells you
block
how good
was
this team is.
crazy.
The Magic, the Magic won a game by 30 in a game where their best player took 6 shots.
Literally.
Dude, they
played
played
the
the
Rockets.
Rockets.
They played the
That's what I'm saying. See? And
What
he
is
also took 7
Okay,
free
what
throws.
is that?
Like,
What does that mean? Look, the Rockets are not that great.
I'm gonna call an overreaction from Miles and Joey on the Magic right now. I don't like the tone that this conversation has taken. You guys are getting
Agreed.
a little too
Agreed.
high on the Magic.
Agreed.
Right now.
I'm
Rudy.
not saying they're like a guaranteed top 4 spot or anything. I'm just saying I like my prediction of them possibly getting in the play-in. Like,
And
they
I'm
proved
saying that it's
they
impressive
can
they won a
beat
game
those
with their
bad
best player
teams
taking
that they
6
need to
shots.
beat.
Dude,
That is impressive.
all I gotta
I'll give you
say
that.
is-
That is impressive.
my favorite play from this game,
Sorry about
well, it wasn't a Rockets play. It was Jonathan Isaac's block on Jalen Green. I loved watching Jonathan Isaac just send that ball back. Has
Jonathan
anyone
Isaac,
seen that
if
highlight?
he's healthy, man, he could be a real good defender.
Like, did any of you guys see that play that he made? His block?
I did see that.
I
I
don't
did
think
see
so.
that. He looked good.
It was crazy. I mean,
Is he gonna be in that
I'm
rotation?
upset. Yeah.
Yeah.
He only played 14 minutes, but he had 11 points. He's gonna get minutes. But I mean, as somebody who watched this game probably more than any of you did, mainly depressed the whole time. But Freddie wasn't that good. Actually, he shot well from 3, but that's about it. Jalen Green actually sucked. He was terrible.
Sengun.
Shengun had a good game.
Greatest player on the planet. Move on. Let's go. Move on.
They didn't. The Magic did not
Big
start
Sengun
Cole Anthony.
overreaction.
They started Markel Fultz and Jalen Suggs.
I don't see an overreaction anywhere.
Okay. All right.
Proper reaction.
Can we go to my least valuable players, because the 1 and 2 play for the same team in the same game actually, and the other one we already talked about.
Wait, who was that?
Tyler Hero and Jaden Ivey.
Ah, Pistons Heat.
Tyler, I would like to start off by talking about Tyler Hero. I was watching that game. He was chucking. As somebody who likes Tyler Hero and likes watching him play, it was good to see him take 24 shots. But what was not good was seeing him only make 7 of them.
Oh no.
Bro, and how
Yeah.
about your starting point guard Kyle Lowry in 32 minutes taking 1 shot?
That's
He
par
doesn't
for the
need to
course.
shoot.
That's par for the
He
course
doesn't
for
need,
him.
he don't need to shoot.
Dude,
Dude, how do you
Hero
only-
got the
Right
24?
there. That's a game
Because all of his
manager.
shots are going to Tyler Hero, which is great, and as long as he starts making his shots.
Man had 2 assists.
That's abysmal.
And then,
That
And
is
they wa-
actually awful.
They won the game,
so
though.
and he,
I honestly
And he-
I didn't get to watch this game. I only was able to watch the highlights, but I feel like
I watched a lot of this one.
I feel like neither team should have won this game because the Heat blew a 19-point lead in the 4th quarter, and they nearly blew it at the end. But Cade missed a 3 at the buzzer because Heat played good
But
defense.
On the low, Jalen Duren's a beast. Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart looked like crazy. It looked so good.
Yeah, well, big reason.
Cunningham.
Wiseman and Bagley going to get pushed to the bench.
Bagley, Wiseman didn't even play.
Yeah, Wiseman didn't play.
Oh, wow.
Another guy who played 10 minutes who looked really good was a young guy. His name's Marcus Sasser. He looked really good.
Say that boy's name.
I said his name, son.
I like Marcus.
Oh my
Sasser.
God. Yeah, he looked really good. Jaden Ivey played
Alabama.
17 minutes, went 1 for 7.
Ooh.
1 for 7. He only played 17 minutes. That's what they gave Killian Hayes 31 minutes.
Yeah, they started Hayes.
That's a bold pick for Monty.
How about Asar Thompson with 5 blocks in his first game too?
Dang.
Yeah, he played great defense, but offensively
DPOW.
there was a lot to be desired.
Still better than
he
his
went 1
brother.
for 7 from the. Can we stop? We already talked about them. Keep his name out your mouth, dude.
Now you don't want to talk about them. What is this? You couldn't wait to talk about them in the last episode.
I was gonna say.
All right,
both
moving
Thompson
on.
Moving on. Okay, moving on. Let's quickly talk about the Wizards Pacers game. A game that had no defense, only offense. And dude,
Is that a surprise?
the Pacers, dude. Pacers looking fun as heck, man.
Oh my
Pacers are a good
God.
team.
Hit 23s. Bruce Brown hit 6. Like
Yeah, because Bruce Brown's a dog.
I should, I need to
Amazing.
I wish I looked up how many
You know
fast
what?
break points the Pacers had, because they got a lot of points in the
Dude.
open court.
The Pacers played how many people? Let's see. Is that 1, 2, 3?
Well, how many played
5,
real
6,
minutes?
7.
Because it was a blowout.
They played 14. They played 14.
They
guys.
played
Well, yeah,
8.
I mean, real minutes.
played-
Real minutes was.
They put.
1,
I'd say
2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say 10.
they had 8 guys in double figures. 8
Yeah,
guys
that's
in double figures. They shot they shot 20 for 43 from deep. And off the bench.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Off the bench in 21 minutes, Andrew Nemhard, 12 points, 10 assists.
He's a baller. He's a baller. I like Nembhard. I liked him from. He is a good player.
He
You
was
love to see
was
Jordan
starting
Poole
for them
0 for
last
6
year a
from 3.
lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like I saw him play a lot last year. He had some good plays. The potential was there.
Everyone who played for the Pacers looked good. Like Jalen Smith even had 13 points in 13 minutes. Like the production was incredible. Now, like we're saying, this is game 1 and it was against the Washington Wizards, but the Pacers, man, just 143 points.
It was enough to convince them to give Carlisle a contract extension. Carlisle's staying there for a couple more years now.
Yes, they did.
A high spot for Washington in this game was their rookie Coulibaly.
He had 3 points.
Bilal
Cool.
How
He
is
had 3
how is-
blocks. He had 3
how is
blocks
he-
in 23 minutes.
Yeah, I
3
guess
blocks.
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Dude,
Also,
shout
Jalen
out to Gallinari, man. Shout out to Gallinari.
Oh.
Looked good in his first game back.
Hell yeah.
Denny Avdia, he was taking it to the rim, but he had some wild shot attempts down low.
What was
Because
that?
he doesn't want to pass. He doesn't want to pass the.
Poole had
18 points. He
had
7
18 on
places from the
18
field.
shots. 0 for 6 from 3.
I was about to say he definitely must have had a rough day shooting if he only scored 18.
Tyus Jones was good. Kuzma was good too. This was good. This was actually a pretty close game through the first half, but the Pacers just extended the lead in the third quarter.
Yeah. So, do we want to move on to another close game that was close the whole game and honestly a surprise? The Hornets and Hawks.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch this game. What'd you think of it? What were your takeaways from the Hawks Hornets?
I mean, Trae Young looked awful. I'm not gonna lie. 4 for 19 from the field. He had 23 points.
Dude,
but that was
thank
also
goodness
14
goodness for free throws.
free throws.
He's on because
Yeah,
I know
free
he's
throws.
on. He's my star fantasy player.
Don't you say it? Don't you? Oh, don't you say it?
That's- But yeah, man, that was rough.
But I mean, PJ Washington looked fantastic. 12 for 18 from the field, 25 points. LaMelo looked. He made 4 shots, 4 of 15, but all of them were threes. and he had 15 points. Terry Rozier 7 of 16.
Brandon Miller.
I mean,
great.
yeah, it was a sloppy game from both teams, honestly. Like 19 turnovers made by the Charlotte Hornets. Not good. 6 came from Gordon Hayward.
Oh jeez.
Oh my.
Yeah, I mean DeAndre Hunter fouled out.
Yeah.
You guys convinced me
I just-
so much about the Hawks and all that, and then they come out here and lose to the team that I had higher than anyone in the Hornets.
Well, hey,
Who
the
did?
Hornets.
I had the
This
Hawks
is
down a little bit.
this is the third straight year where the Hornets have won their season opener. So this is nothing to go crazy about.
Yeah, right.
I honestly think we need to go crazy. I don't know why we wouldn't go crazy.
No, what you guys were saying about the Hawks and their defense, you guys were definitely right, because the Hornets were like PJ Washington and Mark Williams were just getting dunk after dunk after dunk.
Yeah.
And it was
Mark Williams had a good
ridiculous.
game.
Well, it was happening on
Looking
both
like
ends,
me out
wasn't it?
there.
'Cause I saw Jalen Johnson yamming.
Jalen
Wasn't
Johnson had a
Well,
good
yeah.
game. Oh my.
Died for 13.
Dude, DeJounte
21
Murray
points.
was terrible.
Well, that's probably why they lost.
No
Trey and
worries.
DeJounte aren't playing well. You're not going to win a lot of games.
They both shot
7 for 33
21%.
combined.
Trey, okay, so the Hawks are in the same spot
They-
as the
oh,
Hawks are the Mavericks of the East.
Oh,
All the
whoa.
I mean, come on.
Whoa.
You know that's
But they don't have
I
Luka.
see it though.
They,
I see
the
it,
Mavericks didn't shoot 17% from 3, though.
Okay.
17. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. I'm looking at this. That's so
They
bad.
don't
That's-
play defense,
that's-
and their offense is electric.
Well, that's another
most of the
thing. They're
time.
yeah, I don't know. This
They
was
got
definitely a
two
rough one.
all-star guards.
Yeah, 2 all-star guards, right? That combo doesn't
Yeah, but the
work,
rest of-
obviously. The rest of the league, take notice. The 2-guard thing doesn't work. It doesn't work in Cleveland, Darius and Donovan.
I know you were gonna say that, you idiot. I knew you were gonna say that.
Stop it.
I knew you were gonna say
Shut
that.
up.
I didn't
You're
even
not-
know I was going to
you're
say
not
that.
gonna-
I just found my way there.
Nah. We're editing every word you've said this whole time out of the video.
Nah, man.
We're gonna edit it to say shout out to Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Hey, bro,
I'm gonna
I'm
gonna
gonna
send this to my
games,
I'm gonna
but-
send that clip to my boss and tell him to show those guys.
Please.
You know what? Let's talk about the Thunder Bulls game. We already have a
Yeah, we
player.
literally have
We
2
already
games
have a
left to talk
players
about.
only meeting with the Chicago Bulls.
One game.
A
Really?
players only powwow over here. They're already sick.
How bad are the Bulls? Well, it took one game, but they already decided to call it.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, just what a
That-
great
that-
team win though from the Thunder.
I saw that Jalen Williams
Yeah.
had the first 7 points of this game for the Thunder.
And
Wow.
then he had 9 after that.
Dude, I want
How did Chet look? I
Okay.
didn't watch that.
Chet got his ankles broken is what happened.
he did.
Andre
Oh,
Drummond
oh,
snapped that man's
I did
ankles.
see the highlights.
Dude, he's never gonna be able to live that down.
That's gonna happen many
They
more
were like,
times.
this is the
Yeah.
ultimate welcome to the NBA from Andre Drummond. They're like, broke this man's ankles like so early in the game.
Yeah, the fact that
But,
it was Andre Drummond is not good.
Miles, you said you didn't watch this like at all, right? 'Cause
I watched
this a decent
I
amount.
watched some highlights and I was impressed by their draft pick Kaysen Wallace.
Queso, yeah.
He was good.
Oh,
He was
Casey
good
Wallace
off the
played
bench.
Great. He played fantastic. Also off the bench, Isaiah Joe looked great. He's just a sniper. You know when he shoots it, it's going in usually. That's how good he is.
Dude, how did the
Um,
Sixers just
obviously-
let him go like that? He could have been so perfect for them.
Cause they're dumb. Cause they're the Sixers.
it used to be
Sixers
Doc
are a
Rivers up
garbage
there.
run franchise, man.
Can we talk about James? Can we talk about James Harden was just asked to not even come with them because they hate him so much? They're like, dude, you suck.
Harden
Get out-
finally
like,
shows
leave us
up.
alone.
Yeah, we don't want you.
Yeah, what do you guys
Yeah, we
think
don't
about
actually
that?
Want you? Good. Nobody wants him. I don't want him. If he gets,
Is he
if
gonna
gets traded
play
back to
tonight?
the
Wait,
Rockets,
what's
So
the-
no,
No, no.
So now the NBA is investigating the Sixers because of the player participation policy. And they're like it has to be like a
Oh, okay.
legit reason that the guy can't play.
Uh-huh.
So right now the Sixers are describing it as a personal matter.
Oh, I see.
they're just gonna say they should just say he's annoying as hell. Like, they were sick of this dude. Please take him. Just
But yeah,
make
they
it
are
quick.
gonna.
Is he going to
they're
LA
investigating.
then?
I don't think so.
Everyone's saying that he's going to be a Clipper.
I don't
Dude,
think.
Terrence Mann's untouchable. That's not happening.
I don't think they should do it.
But
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know who
this
would
is
do it.
yeah this. It was
I'll
just in this report about the one last thing on the James Harden thing that Bobby Marks said. After months of negotiations, the Clippers stepped away from Harden trade talks in recent days, so they're out of it right now.
They're now out.
The Clippers
Nobody
could
wants this
the
man.
Clippers could revisit them later in the season, but the organization wants to take time to evaluate the team around healthy stars Kawhi Leonard and Paul George over the next several weeks, which is facts
Yeah.
because they are both healthy to begin
They
the
look good.
season.
They
should,
look great, yeah.
and they look great as we talked about.
Yeah. Let's talk. I'd like to give some flowers to some other people. Obviously, Torrey Craig looked good in this game.
Yeah, he was
We
good.
didn't really talk about him. Ousmane Dieng, is that how you say it? I don't really know how to say
Yeah,
it. He's a
Ousmane
sniper,
Dieng. Yeah,
They got some snipers on that team. Just the Thunder's young core looks fantastic, which obviously we knew.
They're gonna be a very
Chet was
fun
kind of
team.
quiet.
I'm excited.
That was quiet, but that's what you expect.
I'm going to the game tomorrow night where they play in Cleveland. That should be a fun game.
You're going to? Oh, that's right. You are going to the game.
Wait,
Oh.
the
The
next
next-
game are you going?
I'll be seeing the Pacers on Saturday. So the next
Oh,
time we
Saturday,
talk,
the other
I'll
game of the
pull-
back-to-back.
I'll pull from that.
He's
That's
gotta
that's
go
two
out
of
Tyrese,
the
guys.
that's two of the best league pass teams in the game right now with the Thunder and Pacers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Pacers are 12th and the Thunder are top 4, right? Or top 10 at least, right?
Wait, for what?
For Zach Lowe's rankings, you're talking, right?
Oh, no. I wasn't talking about his rankings, just in my opinion.
Just league pass. Okay. The last
Um,
game we have to talk about is the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
So I'll start off by talking about the boy Zion because I'm a big Zion guy, and I thought he was great in the minutes that he played. But the part that I found most comedic was I was watching the final moments of this game, and I saw him go for a lob when they're up 9, like flashback to last year when they were playing. Who were they playing when they got in a fight? When they were they were playing the Lakers,
Suns,
right?
the Suns.
Oh, the Suns.
Phoenix,
Dude,
yeah.
the Suns. Yeah.
They were up
Because
10,
Chris
Zion
Paul
threw
got
a-
mad.
Yeah, he threw a 360 windmill down, and so I'm watching the final minutes of this Grizzlies game. They're up 111 to 102, and Zion goes up for a lob and he misses it, and I'm like, did we not learn from the last time?
Dude,
guys?
well, all I had to say to that was that it's okay to do that when in the last minute of the first half you have a poster and then a half court lob. Dude, he looked great.
So we're on the Zion bandwagon. Yeah, we're on the train. Like,
Zion looks good,
I'll be on the Zion bandwagon.
go.
Yeah, for like the 4 games he plays this year, until he goes down with an injury.
I'm gonna wait on that. Because they were playing a hobbled Grizzlies team that did not look good offensively.
Besides Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain,
Jackson,
he's
what
their
happens-
only offense.
What happens when he's in MVP talks in 4 months,
Who?
2 months?
Okay, if that happens,
Zion?
If that happens, I'll be like, okay, that's fine. But if he's until I see him
He
play
could
a full
average
season, or
25,
even like,
8, and.
but he's got to play.
And are the
like,
Pels gonna win?
Yeah, 'cause
I want
I'm not
him
gonna say
healthy,
anything until he,
But I'm with you guys.
I want
Until
him
I
healthy.
see it, I'm not gonna believe it.
like I want him healthy too. I like Zion. Zion's a great player, but I need to see him play. He just never plays. That's the problem I have with him.
Hey,
You can't be saying MVP when he doesn't play.
last season, 3 months in, he was probably one of the most talked about guys when the Pels were the 1 seed. Then he got injured, and then it all fell apart.
Right, that's what you're saying,
get-
right?
Let's see,
Exactly,
who do the I'm trying to find who the Pelicans play next. Do they not play again until Saturday? Oh, they play
Let's talk about
they play the
Grizzlies while you
Knicks.
do that.
They play the
So the
Knicks on
Grizzlies-
Saturday. That'll be fun.
Oh,
Dude, Jalen Brunson's gonna eat in that game.
yeah, that will be fun. Is it in the Garden?
No, it's in New Orleans.
That's no fun.
Either
that's
way,
that's no
Jalen
fun.
Brunson's gonna ball.
Less fun. That's less fun.
What about the Grizzlies?
Anyone?
Nick?
Yeah, the Grizzlies. They chose not to play Kenny Lofton Jr. in a game where they're out with all their guys that are out. They started Zaire Williams. I mean, they kind of went small with Tillman Jackson. They need. My thing is that
Xavier
they need
Tillman's a beast.
in order to get the most out of Jackson, which they did not in this game.
No, they did not.
Because he fouls all the time. You need another rim protector, or at least another guy who can clog the lane. And they didn't play anyone. I think they didn't play anyone who is that guy. So the only guy they really have on their roster is
PJ
Kenny
Tucker.
Lofton, who can
As much-
and he's not even good at that role that I'm
I was about
describing.
to say, I'm a big Kenneth Lofton guy. I loved him in college. He was a baller in
Dang,
college.
Chris Middleton.
But
Chris Middleton.
he's undersized. He's not that shot blocker. I'm with you, Nick. They definitely need someone outside, and especially since Steven Adams is out for the year now.
Yeah, low key, like
Giannis
no
down the
one
lane.
really talks about Jackson. No one cares
Jackson,
about the
yeah,
Bucks
shut
Sixers
up.
right now. The Bucks Sixers game just started. You know, for a team that has the defensive player of the year and that's been one of the best defenses over the last few years, like they don't really have many rim protecting guys outside of Jaren Jackson Jr. Like they're a pretty small team. Like
Yeah.
Especially since Steven Adams went down.
are there like
Yeah.
and even him, I would say he's not really a rim protector. He's a paint
He's-
protector. I'd say
I was
that's a
about to say,
difference.
he's a good
You're
interior
right.
defender, but he's not necessarily a shot blocker. Nobody wants to go down and drive in the paint when he's down there.
But that's
But
why
if you
Jackson
do,
can
they're
step
probably going
over
to kick it out.
from the help
Yeah.
side, Joe. You're right. You're definitely right. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, when Steve is there, even if he's not blocking shots, that's when Jackson comes over and just swats the shit.
I thought that the Grizzlies would start Jaren at the 5 for that reason, so they could play Tillman off the bench, so they could have another center. But I guess who would you put in there? Because the Grizzlies, they were also without Santi Aldama. He's another big that was good for them last year. So they were really shallow on their bigs,
Tillman
in this
isn't
game.
that guy either, though. He's only 6'7". I mean, they don't have anyone taller than him.
Kenneth Lofton's only like 6'6".
Yeah, he's just really big. Like,
right, he's really big.
And he's a bucket, though. He's a walking bucket.
I don't know. We'll see what they do, but I'm definitely interested to see how coach of the Grizzlies handles that going forward.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so far, after one game in for all these teams besides the Bucks Sixers, which Jackson is just so, just really being
Locked
entertained by
into.
right now.
Yeah, he don't care about this podcast anymore. He's locked
Dude,
in.
they're shutting Joel Embiid down right now.
Is there any team that has like really impressed you guys, like you did not expect to see what you saw from them in the first game?
Based off of what you guys, like, again, I didn't watch the game, but based off what you guys are saying, the Raptors. The Raptors, like, even though Minnesota, like, they're, like, for me, they're not necessarily, like, a playoff team. They're a play-in team. But they're still, like, a competitive team in that loaded West. Like, and the Raptors, we all picked
Get out of
bottom of the
Dodge.
East.
Right.
Like, really not good. And then they come out and just shut down that offense with the likes of Ant Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns.
For sure.
Like,
They did
I'm
not shut
very
down Ant. I will
surprised
say
by
that.
them. That was awesome. That's really good.
That's a
hear
good
about
pick,
that.
Joey. I totally agree with that.
That's a solid pick, but also, like, I think that this is something that we knew that this Raptors team could do. I think that we put the Raptors at the bottom of the East more so because we're projecting them to not look like they do right now with their roster.
Mhm.
Not me.
Yeah.
Y'all heard me take a 15. I think I don't like the Raptors.
You don't
with their
like
current roster.
wait, so healthy Raptors
said-
you
I
think are
said
the worst in
Trent.
the East?
No. Okay. I mean,
That's what I heard.
That is what we
Healthy-
just
that's what
heard.
I heard.
healthy Raptors aren't a playoff team. I'll say that. I don't think healthy Raptors are a playoff team.
No.
Wait, yeah.
So I'm saying that was a good pick for Joe because I was surprised that they came out and beat a playoff team in the West. A non-playoff team in the East being a playoff team in the West is
top
a,
three team
is
in
a
the West.
surprise. My pick for the biggest surprise of the week was the Spurs because watching them was exactly how I described it before. It's like they're cooking something and I'm walking to the kitchen. It's like I'm floating from my, I really love what they got going on. I think Pop has got a lot of dudes, and they said it on the air last night. They got dudes on that roster who can buy into Pop and who are gonna have the right mindset, one, and two, play the team and do what he says and follow the system that's been set before.
That's the good thing about having Pop with a young group of guys. He can mold them however he wants, and they don't have those egos yet. The problem that they've been doing the last couple of years is obviously rebuilding, but they were trying to get older guys like a LaMarcus Aldridge, Rudy. They were trying those older guys that are vets just to try to stay competitive. And I'm finally happy because outside of the Cavs, the Spurs are my second favorite team. I try to follow them a lot, and I'm happy they finally bought into this full rebuild because it's really going to pay off, especially in the next coming years when Pop probably retires.
Yeah,
Well, he signed a
1,000%.
5-year contract. He's gonna be there for a little bit.
He
He's
did.
gonna be there until he's dust.
He signed a 5-year contract this year.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Jackson, how about you?
My most surprising team is the Atlanta Hawks.
In a bad
Okay.
way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
They
That's a
just
solid pick.
didn't look good.
Good pick.
That's a good pick.
Lost to the Hornets. There's no coming back from that.
What? Okay.
They're gonna be the 3 seed just because you said that.
Watch the Hornets. Yeah, just go crazy now.
The only three seed I know is the Cavs and the Timberwolves.
And the Timberwolves just lost to the Raptors. How about that, buddy?
I mean, just listen to
Oh
the
my God.
sentences. If you would write
What
the
about you,
sentences
Miles?
you say down.
Mr. Zero assists in Boston looks just like Jokic, everybody.
All right.
Miles, who's your most surprising team?
Honestly, this is a I guess this is a interesting pick because it's like a team that we all expect to be good, but for different reasons. I had the Suns. I was really impressed with the Suns because I thought that they would not stand a chance to really win games if like Durant has a bad game and it's only like one guy. But the Suns won that game with their defense, so I was really impressed by the Suns. Dude, if they can play defense like that when Beal, Booker, and Durant are all cooking, I don't know how you stop this team. I really don't.
This team is very dangerous.
I will say one name, and it is Nikola Jokic, and he's just gonna have something to say about that. That's all. I know it's not addressing how to stop those 3, but he's gonna figure it out.
Nobody on that. Like, if those 2 teams play, which we're like predicting in the Western Conference Finals, outside of probably Goglin, who probably has the Rockets and Timberwolves.
I have Golden State making it far.
You have LA you like too.
Oh yeah, mine's the Lakers and the Warriors.
Yeah.
Either way.
Oh, that's such a
way,
dude.
Who's gonna stop the Suns? But nobody on that Suns team is gonna be even close to stopping Jokic. I'm with Nick as well. Like Jokic, no one's gonna stop him.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking to see.
Rudy Gobert is into the chat.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking. So
Rudy.
December 1st is when the Nuggets and Suns first play this season, so we'll have to mark that on our calendars to try to watch that game.
All right.
Because that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, do you guys have any other thoughts about any of these games?
We've talked about all the teams. We've picked
talked about all the
awards
teams.
for the most part.
We mentioned Carlisle got his extension.
We can do some predictions for tonight's games. Let's pick the 2 games that are happening tonight. We got the Sixers and the Bucks that just started.
Bucks are.
I guess these ones are kind of iffy for the.
They're already up 8, low key.
I guess like, what do you guys want to see from this next week, or like, is there anything that you guys are going to be looking at? Like,
Harden
yeah.
is number 1 on my.
Harden situation is very interesting to keep an eye on, especially with, like you said, the league's now investigating the Sixers and all that kind of stuff to see, because like you said, he showed up for practice, he was ready to go, and then they just said no. And like with the new rules of load management and stuff, they're gonna have to investigate and be like, hey, he's ready to play, and you're not playing him now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
for
a superstar. Like, you need to play him.
Oh my
People come to see him.
I guess one thing that that I forgot to bring up was the I don't remember when this was announced, but that the NBA All-Star game is going back to East versus West. We're getting rid of the draft. We're getting rid of the target score. You guys like it?
I agree. I like that.
Big time.
I think it'll be more competitive.
100%.
It's so weird to say that we're going through this cycle, because like at this time, like 6 years ago or whenever when it was put in, we were like, yes, the draft. This is going to make it so much more competitive. And now we're like, yeah, we've kind of had enough of this. Let's get back to the way it was.
Yeah.
The draft is fun for TV. Like, the way they do it on NBA on TNT, and they have them drafting live in the commentary.
That's great.
Really fun TV. But again, the All-Star game is just not competitive.
Yeah, and if the best player...
They tried changing that format, like at the end of each quarter.
That was
donating to
just
charity,
stupid.
But it's still
the donating part wasn't bad.
It's still awful to watch.
If the best player in the world is getting picked last, there's something wrong with the draft. I will say that I do like they play to a set score to end it. I think that's fun.
I
That
agree.
is-
I agree with that as well. It made it more fun, more
The
competitive.
ending
Especially
gets
like
really
if it's close,
competitive.
it's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Do you
Maybe
guys
put in
think?
win by 2?
Do you guys think that the West do you think that the West All-Stars are better than the East? Like, I haven't really done much thinking about it.
I haven't.
We don't know who's on each All-Star team, sir. So that's
We're
impossible. to know.
predicting, dude.
Goglin, it's the Western Conference versus the Eastern Conference.
Um,
What
Let's
are
go
you
through
talking
this.
about?
let's go through this. You're gonna have what? Dame, Giannis, Joel Embiid, Donovan
Tatum.
Mitchell,
Mitchell
and
and
Tatum versus Luka, Steph,
LeBron,
Jokic.
LeBron, and Jokic.
Jokic, Durant. Ooh.
I would go.
I don't know.
East.
That's actually
You're gonna have Jimmy Butler.
No, Jimmy
But-
doesn't play in All-Star games. He hates the All-Star game.
Maybe Bam.
Porzingis.
emo Jimmy is a new person though. You gotta remember that.
Emo Jimmy's nuts.
All right, I'll say the East. I'll go East.
I say East.
I like it. I like it. That'll definitely. Oh, that'll be fun to watch. Yeah, because I mean, you got to think.
I kind of.
You got to think. Ja won't. Ja
what?
won't be in the game.
Ja won't.
Yeah, Ja won't make it because he's suspended for 25 games.
Ja won't be back until after the game.
No, he'll be
close
back
to
before
it.
the game.
He'll be back before that, obviously, but like.
But he'll only have like a month before the All-Star.
Yeah, it won't be unless they vote him into the game, which just won't happen.
But I mean, you got to think of the benches too. You got like Shea, probably Desmond Bain, just because he's.
Ooh.
Desmond Bain.
No,
He's gonna have
No,
super
yeah,
inflated numbers.
Bane will probably be. I would predict
He's
Bane to
gonna
make the
have
All-Star
super
game.
inflated numbers.
Are you gonna have
did I
Alfred
say Shea?
Sengun?
Stop it. As much as I want to, no, I can't put him there.
Right, because Dylan Brooks has that spot locked.
It's locked.
I'm calling it now.
Mhm.
Dylan Brooks is gonna get the All-Star spot over Ant Edwards.
What is this guy doing?
I'm kidding.
Oh my
I've got a
gosh!
smile on my
Okay,
face,
okay.
Joey.
I think with that
Thank
type
you.
of talk, I think we've gone long enough. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like. Subscribe for more of this podcast content. Check the links in the description below for our individual channels or social medias and the Runnin the Paint Instagram page. Jackson, are you gonna have the Twitter page up at some point?
That's a no.
That's it.
The platform formerly known as Twitter X. Let's be politically correct on this podcast, boys.
X that name out of the way. X is terrible. That's awful.
That name out. I like.
Dude, anytime I'm on there and I see that something's been like reposted, I'm like, dude, that should just say retweeted.
Dude, Elon's coming after us and the Runnin the Paint pod right now. He's listening.
Go ahead, Elon. What are you gonna do? I'm already depressed enough. I'm a
All
Rockets
right,
fan,
Jackson.
a Browns fan,
All
a
right.
Blue Jays fan. How
Thank you
else
for
can I
listening.
be depressed?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, stay tuned. We'll have another episode in the next week. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.